Okay, so, this is a little different than most other videos I've posted. Uh, so Wednesday is generally my good day. Today has been shit. Pardon the expression. But, honestly, I am in the worst. I hate doing this online, but seriously, I'm not in a good way right now. As I've mentioned before, I'm a theater major, which should have been with a natural inclination towards being other people. Like, I have an easy time not being myself. You'd think theater wouldn't be such a hard major. And it's not such a hard major, it's just difficult when your teacher says, here, pick a scene between two girls by these two playwrights that only write for men. So, yeah. Which means that everybody else in my class moved faster than I did and checked out all the books by those playwrights. So I managed to find one we have a choice of Neil LaBute or David Mamet. I found Boston Marriage by David Mamet. It was like, oh my god, it's a play entirely of women. This is perfect. Except we're not allowed to have something with heightened dialogue. So I paid an extra $20 for 2-day shipping, only to find out I can't use it. So I'm a little pissed. So me and my scene partner ran to the library. The library is completely stripped of anything Neil LaBute or David Mamet. Got online, searched everywhere. But of course, since they're not like classic plays, you can't find the script online, no PDF file, blah 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 blah. Neither of us could get a hold of ebooks from our previous colleges. So I'm curious, as I plead with you, if any of you are familiar or would happen to own, because we haven't even been able to get a hold of a book to flip through it. I have called, and I hate talking on the phone, it's really uncomfortable for me. I have called every bookstore I could find online in Gainesville and asked if they had anything by David Mamet or Neil LaBute, and I think only one of them had one play by David Mamet. No, Neil LaBute. Yeah. None of them had David Mamet, which is weird. So, my scene partner and I weren't even able to flip through books to see if... Because all of these are so male-centric, and I don't have a problem with that. Because that's up to the writer, and I know half the time writers are men, and especially in theater, writers are going to be gay, which is not a problem. But I can understand where that would make a difficulty in writing female characters. Female characters are difficult to write anyway. So I completely understand, but at the same time, we have a class of about 15 people. 14. We have 14 exactly. Yes. Of that 14, 5 of them are guys. So that's about a third of the class. Yet, we have to pick between Neil LaBute and David Mamet. When, just by default, there's going to be a couple groups that are female-female. So, if any of you might, by any chance, have any of those books, just, I don't know, like on a shelf somewhere, or perchance you're watching this in a library, which I don't know why you'd do that, but I've seen people do weird things in libraries. I'm sorry, I'm just in such a terrible mood. And this that I'm wearing right now is really comfortable, but I didn't wear it to school today, so I wasn't even I want to say shittier. I'm just going to say shittier. I was in a shittier mood this morning when I was in school in a dress. Thank God I didn't wear makeup today, because that would have totally ruined everything. I'm sorry I'm yelling at you guys. I don't really have people that I talk to. I'm not good at that. Staring at a camera makes things simpler. But if any of you might, by any chance, be near any books by David Mamet or Neil LaBute, do you think you could possibly flip through them and see if there is a I want to say like a 3 to 5 page scene of two women talking to each other, or enough moments of two women talking to each other that I could scramble together a scene? Because I'm good at cutting scenes, and forming scenes and monologues and stuff, but I don't even have the text in front of me to do that. If there are books that, if there are, you know, 2 or 3 specific plays that I can, you know, become aware, if you could help me, that'd be fabulous. But however I possibly become aware of books that plays tired of any David Mamet or Neil LaBute plays that would happen to have scenes where 2 women are actually conversing, anything except Boston Marriage. If you could let me know which plays those are, I will look into finding those specifically. And then, because I wouldn't have a problem ordering a book offline and, you know, paying the extra for 2-day shipping, because my teacher wants us to have it by Friday, despite the fact we gave her the scene beforehand, which means she obviously didn't look through it and see that it was heightened dialogue, which, I mean, I get that she's busy, I get it, but we got shoot out. So, it also happened to be the one David Mamet play she was not familiar with. Isn't that just snazzy? So I'm feeling horrible. So yeah, if any of you are near a David Mamet or Neil LaBute or anything, and you can flip through and just see, please, 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 please. I mean, don't go out of your way, but if you do happen to have, like, I know back at my house, like my hometown, there are just boxes of my sister's old plays. But my sister happens to hate Neil LaBute, or not be a huge fan. I'm not personally a huge fan either. I feel like he tries too hard to be, you know, shocking. But at this point, I don't care. At this point, I need something. So back home, I know I don't have any Neil LaButes, but at the same time, you know, I don't know how many of you are gonna just have boxes of hand-me-down plays. But if you are near any, could you flip through and just do that for me? That'd be wonderful. If you don't want to, that's also cool. I'm gonna go now. I'm exceptionally sorry about that, by the way. I just really... I've done everything that I can think of. Okay. Most specifically, though, we were online, me and my scene partner, looking through a ton of the books, and the one we found that might be prospective is Neil LaBute's The Shape of Things, which happens to be, like, I think that's, like, his largest cast, and it's 4 characters, 2 couples, you know, male, female, male, female. But most of the focus, I believe, is on the men, as usual, which is, again, not a problem, but why couldn't we be allowed to do something like Mauritius or Proof, where the characters are female and important? There are 2 other groups in the class that are female-female, and they both described, to get their scene, they actually had to take every scene that the 2 females had together, every scene from every part of the play. They were able to break an entire play down into one single scene, because that was all the speech that the 2 females had together. So, yeah. Looks like there's not that left available to me, because the other 2 did it already, which is not a problem. Good for them for being on task. But we weren't warned that we couldn't do Boston Marriage, so... oh well. So yeah, The Shape of Things, apparently one of the females is supposed to sabotage the other couple's relationship, and there's a possibility she does it by talking to, you know, the female of the other relationship. And if there's a scene like that at some point in the play where they actually are alone talking, then we can use that. So if any of you happen to have The Shape of Things, please flip through it and see if that is that at all a possibility for me. I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, then please and thank you. Okay, bye!